Sahanna bhavatu Sahanau bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Guru Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapiyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sajaracharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Continuing the argument of those who disagree and those who have got various vikalpa views on the Karanam of this world, he says. Then those who are well versed in the Vedas, they swear by it. Veda iti Vedavidaha, that all the Vedavids, as they are called, they say the four Vedas are the tattvas and nothing else. Whatever the Veda said, we have to accept that because it is apaurusheyam and it is a fund of knowledge. So the Vedavids say it is the Vedas which is the very foundation of this world. Why they say like that? Don't ask me why they say like that. That is what they say. That's all we know. And he says here, that is the 22nd verse, is it not? 20th. Some philosophers, Chadushpada, Atma is the truth. And they are all finding out truth. And they say the Veda is the only truth and nothing more than that. Whatever else you say cannot be the truth. And they conclude like that. And since Bhagavan Shankara never found it necessary to answer any of these people, we need not even find out why they said it. Whatever reasons they have. Vedas alone is the ultimate reality, says the Vedavids. And they are called, these people are called Spodavadis. What is Spodha? Spodha is that sound, Shabda. Spodha means Shabda. Their Veda is nothing but the Shabda Pramana. Is it not? So they say the Vedas is the reality and nothing else. Nada Brahma is the truth, is their stand. They say Nada Brahma. And they say the world began with a sound. What is sound? That we say, but actually what is all the philosophers have accepted? Big Bang. It's called the Big Bang theory. And the Veda is the Shabdam. According to the Vedic declarations, the first thing that came into the world is the sound. And all creation started with a sound. So they are called Spodavadis, and Karmakandis insist that the yajnas and yagas are the realities. Others say, no, not that, but what is it? Yajna idicha tadvidaha. The people who are yaga yajna, kartas, very well versed in that, they say the only truth is go on doing yaga and yajna. That is the truth. Whatever they have taken up for their understanding, that alone is the truth according to them. Bhokte deja bhoktruvidaha. Bhokta is the truth. This is Baudhayanana. Who are those people? It's also said here. Veda Jodishtomam, etc. Yajna is the only truth. Baudhayanan, etc. who are the Yajnikas, they say. Then who is the Bhokta? Bhokta is, ultimate Bhokta is? Ultimate Bhokta is the Atman. Atman, through these equipments, it is, so that is the truth. Atma Vidaha, they say like that. And Sankhya says, who saying this? Sankhyas. Atma is the Bhokta and he is not Karta. So, no, very nice for the Atma. Sit and go on enjoying, eating. All types of, how funny they sound. And Atma is the Bhokta, but he is not the Karta. He is the most unemployed creature in the world and he is the most, greatest enjoyer. So they say, who say? Sankhyas. They insist that Atma is only a Bhokta, not a Karta. Because if they say it is Karta, then so many of their pet theories will be gone. So it is not Karta. To suit their own stand, they make the reality to go through so many different ways. They describe it. Then there are people who say, Bhojyamidi cha tadvidaha. Bhojya. Is it not? All these sound so funny. The enjoyer of food, Sankhya say, is the experiencer of food. Some say, Sukshma idi Sukshma vidaha. It's a atom. That is what Sama. Sukshma. It is very, very subtle. Sukshma vidaha. Sthula idi Sthula tadvidaha. And Atma is Sthulam. Who says that? Nastikas. The Nastikas who never believe in anything except what they see. Pratyaksha pramanam is their only pramanam. So they say what we see only is the truth. Sthula, what Sthula things we are seeing. Because Sukshma you can't see. Sthula we are seeing, all these gross objects in the world is the truth. Then some people say, Murta idi Murta vido. Murta vida means one who thinks that the reality has a Murta. Murta means a form. This is all against what Vedanta says. Murta idi Murta vidaha, Amurta idi tadvidaha. And those who say, Agama people, they say Shivagama or some branch of Pancharatas. So, Agama Vishwasigal they are, Amurtam and without any swabhava in it is the Paramartha Vastu. Who is saying that Amurta, no Murta and all that, and it has no qualities also. It can't be explained at all, and hence that Paramartham, what you talk about is only Shunyam. It has no quality, it has no kriya, it has no jadi, it has no... Then what is it? According to them, the Shunyavadis say, Paramartha is only Shunya. What can we tell with all these people? And thus, many people say many things. And we are not concerned. Kala idi kala vidaha, and one who is specializing in kala. They say that Paramartha Tattvam is nothing but time. And they give eternality to time. Time has no eternality at all. And they say time is eternal. Time is the only truth we know. In time everything comes, in time everything goes, in time everything ripens. So time must be the Paramartha. Thus goes there. And if it is funny, all these are funny to us, when you read the science experiments and their findings, they are also equally funny. The book I read, that God Code, one book I read, and in that it is very, very funny that science has not reached anywhere, and they are going on searching for that Paramartha Vastu, which is the reality of this world. They have not found. Have we found? We can find it, because some of the rishis have found it within themselves in deep moments of meditation. Gurudev says, white heat of meditation. That's the word he uses always. In that white heat of meditation, they have Kara disha idi tadvidaha. Then there are those people who knows that this disha. Disha means dik. Dik. And those who are idi vada idi vadavidaha, bhuvanani idi tadvidaha. Everything is a reality now. The 24th verse says, the Jyotishas say time is the reality. If you call a Jyotisha, first thing, your time is not all right. They are the ones Kalavidas. They say reality is determined by the time. And time is the reality. The time is itself an evolute, and how can it be real? That which is born in time and goes in time cannot be the truth. So I don't know how that is. Others say that space. Every aparavidya should be understood as an obstacle to my understanding of reality. All this knowledge branches is an obstacle for me to know the truth. And all these are, what is said so far is all aparavidya. What about Vedas? First we started with Vedas. Vedas is not aparavidya. What does Mandukya Upaniṣad say? What does Mandukya Upaniṣad say? It talks about paravidya and aparavidya. And what is aparavidya? Even the Vedas are aparavidya. It doesn't take you to the Edaksharam adhigamyade, that by which knowledge, if I do not reach that highest, it is aparavidya only. So what about the Vedas? Vedas also. I chant Vedas, but I am no nearer to the truth, then Veda also is aparavidya, lower knowledge. You understand? When does it become higher knowledge? When that study of the Vedas takes me to the understanding of the highest. What about Upanishad? Upanishad also is only a book. And when does it become? Edaksharam adhigamyade. When it takes you to that. Aksharam means that imperishable, immutable Atman. When the knowledge of the Upanishad takes you to that, then Upanishad is a paravidya. When the Atma Jnanam makes me realize my own true nature, then it is paravidya. When it is only a mere intellectual knowledge and not your experience, then it is only aparavidya. Boldly the Upanishad says, Vedas also is aparavidya if it is not making you a realized man. Okay? Vedas contain not only the karma kanda, it contains the upasana kanda, it contains aranya kanda, it contains the jnana kanda. Even this jnana kanda is only aparavidya as long as that jnana has not taken you to that highest realization. This you must always remember. A book becomes paravidya, or that knowledge becomes paravidya. By the end of that studying it, I have realized my own true nature. Then only it is paravidya. In the Ishavasya. So see, according to them, should be understood as an obstacle to my understanding. All these, every aparavidya should be understood as an obstacle to my understanding. So if you go on hanging to any branch of knowledge and swear by it, you are doing a disservice to yourself. You will never know the truth. That is only one little flicker of truth, not really the truth. So he says, to my understanding of reality, all directions, all relative shabda, samuha is relativities. If it is relative, it is aparavidya. So, what are they all doing? Each one argues according to his own line of thinking. So we can also make our own rules. Don't go to the classes, camps and all that. My own rule I cannot so pass in. Then what should I go on chanting, I am Om, and I am Brahman. That is the only thing you have to do. That is the reality. That is my interpretation. As many brains are there, that many interpretations will be there. But that is all not the truth. Others argue, some others say, Mana idi manovidaha, buddhiridi cha tadvidaha, chittamidi chittavidaha, dharma dharmo cha tadvidaha. Have they exhausted? Mana idi manovidaha. Mind is Atma. Without mind, all this is not possible. You are not going to know. With what instrument you will know the truth. And they will quote right, left and center from the Upanishads and here and there. Manameva karanam bandham mokshayoho. That is why mind is superior. You understand? They will quote from everywhere. Manayeva karanam bandha mokshayo. Mind itself may. That in a different context, in a different level, it is talked. And now we pull that from there and say that is what they say, and hence mind is the truth. Out of context. And then he says, Manovidaha, buddhiridi cha tadvidaha. These people are many. Who says buddhi is the Atman, the truth. Because without buddhi, I'll never reach that higher state. Buddhi is the truth actually. And these people who depend on their buddhi had done immense damage to our scriptures. Why? This is not available to buddhi. Why it is not available? Because buddhi always questions everything. All the problems here, Purvapakshis are who? Great thinkers, Gurudev says in the Dakshinamurti. How these great thinkers can make such stupid statements is what surprises us, he writes in the Dakshinamurti Stotram. Even the Buddhists, some of them were great, Nagarjuna and all are great thinkers. And they have also made them because they depended only on their intellect. They never thought that there is something higher than the intellect. You understand? That is how the mind and intellect will take you in a different route altogether in this search for truth. And what about what Krishna says in the Gita? I am the intelligence in the intellect. Have you made that distinction? I am the intelligence in the intellect. So if you go to any of our sense organs, or the buddhi, or the mind, or the chitta, or whatever, if you are going to the essence of it, that is the truth. You are not seeing the essence, you are seeing only the superficial. Is it not? He is great intellect, good to get a good living. Very good. An intelligent man, how many PhDs he has, so what? Even he need not know the truth. Even a man like Stephen Hawking, poor man, is only brains. Body is, Bhagavan has given only brains, nothing else here. Body is such a useless body. He can't walk, he can't do anything. No mobility at all. Have you seen the picture of Stephen Hawking, who had written the history of time or something like that? History of time, no. History of world or something. Time. If you read the book, he's all intellect. But he also says in his book somewhere, there must be some other thing other than this intellect. Understand? So you reached from the sthula objects of the world, you have come up to the intellect. Intellect is, when it is Tivra intellect, that is very sharp intellect, it's good for your Vyavaharika life. But that intellect is useless in the search for truth, because you are searching for something very much subtler than the intellect. So it is of no use. That is why we should cultivate a sukshma intellect. A very subtle intellect is required for knowing the truth, not a gross intellect, which we require in the world of Vyavahar. It's an instrument. It is not the truth. Okay, that is my opinion, but like that they have their own opinions. Idi tadvidaha, chittam idi chittavidaha. And some people say Vijnanam. Chittam and what is the difference between chittam and mind and all? Don't ask me. Mind, the antakaranam consists of 4 things. Mind, intellect, chittam, ahangaram. 4 things. Mano buddhi ahangaram chittani naham. No. Chidananda rupa shivoham. Mano, mind I am not. Chitta, they are all my mind, my intellect. Is it not? And who is this me? Question is always, who is this me? That we don't know. Then if you don't know, you will do a favor to everybody by keeping quiet. Don't making so many unnecessary declarations. Understand? Okay. So, Chittam is said to be the reality. Shunya Vijnanavadis, Vijnanavadis, they are the people who say Chittam, that Smarana, that remembrance. Chittam is the seat of all remembrance. So, we say that Chittam must be the truth. Look at the way they have taken the Satyanyveshi in a direction which we cannot even think of. Whatever they believe in, they say that is the truth. Dharma, adharmao. And some people say it is dharma, adharmao. The reality is dharma and adharma. The dharma, dharma is applicable where? Huh? In the Vyavahar. It's only applicable to Vyavahar. Dharma, dharma vivarjita pantha. Punya, punya vivarjita pantha. In Bhajagovindamaiti. You have gone on that. You must go on the path which is neither dharma or adharma. Dharma and adharma are all applicable only in the Vyavaharika field, in the Adhyatma field. It does not apply at all. You cannot even tell a sadhu, vidhi, nishedam, both are not there for a sannyasi. He must do only like this, or he must not do like that. Who are you to decide? He has reached a state where he works from a totally different level. It's not by do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts are only for the lower level. There is no do and don't. By nature, he is not supposed to do anything which is wrong. If he is doing, then he is not not in that fourth ashrama. That is all. One person who has learnt dance, let us say dance very well. Even in the sleep, she will not make a wrong step. Why? Yeah, he knows that. You cannot make a wrong note of music even in deep sleep if you know what is music. If you don't know, that is okay. You understand? So also the man who has realized the truth will never make a wrong step. Will never do a wrong thing which is not accepted by the dharmas. He is not living by dharma. He is living at a very high level where dharma and adharma, everything has disappeared. He will be always doing the right alone from your standpoint. From his standpoint, there is no right or wrong. Beyond right, beyond wrong. He who has gone beyond all divisions. Dharma, dharmam. Dharma, dharma, vivarjita, in the Vishnu Sahasranamam, in the Lalita Sahasranamam, everywhere it will come. Without all these divisions are only for the jiva, not for the Atman, the self. So, those who adhere to and dharma, dharma, and says, and these people are Vaidika karmis, is it not? Vaidika karmas, and say it should be done like this only. You must look at that side and do, otherwise it is not correct. So many prescriptions. So much so in our language we say, if you go on looking at the Shastra, you cannot do anything, including going to the bathroom. You have to take a particular time. Dharma. So all these vidhi nishedhang is not there. Who is telling this abhiprayam? This holding this view are called Mimamsakas. Mimamsakas are those who have got so many ritualists, are people who say that we must go according to the vidhi and nishedha. Once you have become realized, when you realize the truth, ko vidhi, ko nishedha. Neither vidhi nor nishedha. Nobody has prescribed any vidhi for realized man. He lives in his own world. He may laugh loudly, he may cry out loudly, nothing matters. Because that moment, that is what is required, and he does. He goes by no rules. He is beyond rules. That is called freedom. That is only liberation. Whatever I do, whatever such a man does, it becomes a model for others. Whatever he says becomes the truth. Satya Sankalpas. You understand this? That greatness of that state. Whatever he says becomes the truth. If it is not truth already, it will become the truth. Because he has said it. So the Mahatma says, Shubham Bhuyad. You have got such a bad time in your Jyotish. Whatever. But because he said it, no. You have to have only Shubham. That is what Savitri said, She took the blessing from Dirgha Sumangali Bhava. And after giving me this type of a Brahmaji or who, I don't know, somebody gave you the. Yama. Now how can you take my husband? You only gave me the blessing. Dirgha Sumangali Bhava.
What is easy, Amma?
That may be. But the Savitris lived in a different era. Not now. Okay, leave it. So, Panchavimshaka ityege Shadvimsha chapare. They are saying Tattvas are 25, Panchavimshaka. And some others say, no, not 25, 26. 24 Tattvas plus Purusha. Is it not? The 24 Tattvas are Prakriti and 25th is Purusha. That is the reality. And according to the Sankhyas, both are real. What are real? 24 Tattvas are also real. Pradhanam they call it. And 25th Purusha also is real. How can there be two realities? Vedanta cannot accept. Egam Brahma Satyam and Brahma Egam Advidiyam. So 25, 26 and sometimes somebody says 31. So many varieties of thinkers. Infinity is there. Apare cha ekatrimshaka 31. Who are they? Apare, some other people. Anandaha idi. And some people say, there is now now what are the 25 tattvas? You know all that. Moola Prakriti, Mahat Tattva, Mahangaram, Panchadan Matragal, 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Vishayas, Indriya Vishayas, and Tanmatras. All that is. And who is the 25th? Drashtus Svabhavaha Purusha. Purusha, who is the seer. He is a fifth. And there are people called Pashupatanma. Pashupata. Shaiva Siddhantam. Have you heard Shaiva Siddhantam? They also add some more. Raga, Avidya, Niyadi, Kalakalaha, Maya. Now it becomes 26 plus 5, 31. And the other fellows, they are very clever. They said, we don't know how many are there. They didn't even take the trouble of counting. So they say, Ananda. Immeasurable. Now see how funny they are all. Lokan lokavidaha. Prahur ashrama iti tadvidaha stripum napumsaga lingaha paraparamatha pare. What is Lokan? Lokavittuka. The one who knows the lokas, they say these lokas are the truth. The only truth that you can gain in this world is the 14 lokas, 7 up and 7 down. 7 up we can understand, because now and then we drink it. It's not. That is all. That they say, Laukikas say the various lokas as Brahma loka, Surya loka, Chandra loka, Pitar loka, many lokas as Brahman. The Brahma loka, instead of being Brahman, Brahma loka becomes Brahman. The loka which they are only asking for the lokas. I want to go to Brahma loka. So what? Oh, I will study there under Brahmaji and realize the truth. That all that is said in the Puranas and other here and there. So what we want, we also pick that only. Hare Rama, what is the difference between one loka and another? We don't want a loka. We want that consciousness which is not a loka. Now he says, Brahman means become the end there. The Brahma loka is only the path to Brahman. But you think that Brahma loka is the ultimate end of our search. Some people say, no, I want to go to Pitru loka, because I want to go on seeing all my father and grandfather and great-grandfather and stay with them forever. So I'll go to Pitra loka. Some people say Surya loka, some people say Chandra loka. They have got different lokas. But these lokas are only transit lounge on your travel to the higher. They are not the permanent. Except Brahma loka, all other lokas you come back also. In Brahma loka also you come back. If you are not doing proper study and sadhana there, they will come back. Don't be too sure. Do you understand? Then also you will come back. Now I have reached Brahma loka, I can do what I want. No. So don't make the means to be the end, become the end. Only ashramas are real. Some people say only ashrama is real. What is that ashrama? Brahmacharya, Garasya, etc. And Vanaprastha and Sannyasa ashram. When I reach, I have attained reality. Not at all. There are so many sannyasis, nowadays particularly, which is a big question mark to sannyasa ashramam itself. What these people are all doing? What? At least the poor grihastha is honest about himself. I am an ordinary man. I have got ordinary desires. These fellows talk high and do horrible things. The others say it is the reality, and the Vaiyakaranas say ashramas are real. Ashrama also is not real. Atyashrami. In the Upanishads it is said, one who reaches the truth has become atyashrami. He has no ashrama. So if you ask him, are you a Brahmana or a Kshatriya? He says, get lost, I am none of those things. Then what are you? Atyashram. I have gone beyond all ashramas. So, it's not ashrama, then what it is? Then Vaiyakaranas say that reality is on Strilingam, Pullingam, Navumsailingam in the Vaiyakarana. In the grammar. In grammar there is only one reality. And what is that? Strilinga, Pullinga, Napumsakalika. That is all. The Vyakarna says that is the truth. Maybe the Tantra people took some instruction from them. I don't know what it is. Such stupid. How can intelligent people arrive at this type of nigamana? Brahma, and no wonder Shankaracharya didn't even touch it. No Bhashya also was written. The others say it is para, apara Brahma. Where is it? Three napumsakalingaha para paramatha pare. But others say that para, apara. Parabara Brahma, meaning Parabrahma and Aparabrahma, lower Brahma and higher Brahma. Anyway, this is also Brahma, you have said. So what? How many types of Brahma are there? 2. Do we agree? But what is the truth? Ekam Advidiyam Brahma. In this Apara Brahma also you must be seeing only the one Brahman. Then only you have attained the truth. Okay. So, thus they make a lot of gadbud. That's all. And any subject to interpretation, others say it is Parabara Brahma. Any perceived object is subject to interpretation, and as instruments vary from perceiver to perceiver, the interpretations also vary. So what are all these? What are all these? So many brains, and they have got their own interpretations. Perceiver, the interpretations also varies. Some say Karana Brahma, others say Karya Brahma. Both miss Karya Karana Vilakshana Brahma. Suppose you say the Brahma is the Karya Prapancham, then you are missing the truth. If you say no, it is only Karana Brahma, and Brahman is not a Karanam at all, we have seen so many times. Brahma is not a Karanam. So then what do you miss? You miss the real Brahman, which is Karya Karana Vilakshana. Karanam is a thing, is a status you achieve by having Karya. The effect only produces that there should be a Karanam. So Karya Karana Vilakshanam, which is neither a Karyam nor a Karanam, that point is missed, and hence you miss the whole. And now lastly there are the Srishtivadis. Srishtiridi Srishtivido Layayidi cha Tadvidaha. So what is the truth? Srishti. Some people say. Srishtivadis say it is creation, dissolution or sustenance. Tidididi Layamidi. That is Srishtistidilaya is the truth. From where we came to where? Srishti Laya is only some intermediary stage in the whole process. The Paramatma has, according to all the Upanishads, the Paramatma, if at all there was a Srishti, he must have become Avyagrata Brahma. The Avyagrata means the Maya. Is it not? Maya, Mula Prakriti is called Abhyagata. And that Mula Prakriti gives the plan for the whole world. Like in the mind of an architect, the picture of the building he is going to build is already there in his mind. In an Avyakrata, in a unmanifest form. So what is that? Unmanifest form. This idea is in unmanifest form, which becomes a a prapancham which you can see, which you can experience only when it becomes sthula prapancham. This sukshma prapancham which is in the mind first, para, we call it. Even sound start from para, madhyam, madhyama, vaikhari, like that. Even the sound is first comes as sukshma, then becomes sthula. So that's what he says here. The srishtivido layairi cha tadvidaha. The srishtivadis in Pauranikas says srishti is the tattvam, and those who believe in the destruction or the pralayam, they say no, layam is the tattvam, layam is the truth, and those others say no, these both are not the truth, sthiti is the truth. We feel like telling them, shut up and keep quiet. We are tired of explaining this. Okay. But, what are all these but? All these are kalpidam in the Atman. They have imagined all these on the immaculate Atman, Nitya Nirmala Atma. They have imagined all these things, kalam, that, this, gender, all types of things. And he says here that kalpidam in the Atma and Brahma kalpidam, in other words. Like without knowing the truth of the Atman, we think that is Atman, this is Atman, this is Atman. Adhyaropam it is. Actually speaking, none of those things are Atman. If you don't have all these descriptions, what remains is Atman. That's what I can tell you. So how do I know that Atman? All these people with their interpretations, already it is difficult. With their interpretations, they have made it much more difficult. Confused us totally. Don't get confused. They are madman's ramblings. Need not. What madman says, why should we worry? All these people are all, they hold on to their own personal views and goes on projecting them. Among the great intellectuals also there are such people. They hold to their view and no other view they will accept. So to make them come to understand the truth is very, very difficult. He says here, such vadis. So by another person, whatever truth is shown, 29th verse says, whatever yambhavam darshayedhyasya tambhavam sadupashyati. Whatever bhava is shown to a person by a teacher or somebody, that only he holds on. He never thinks for himself. You understand? Every teacher does not give you freedom. If the teacher says that is the truth, then the students all like parrots, they will say that is the truth. You understand? And such students will never become Vedantins. The student who cannot think for himself, it can never become Vedanta. So, yam pashyadi, yam bhavam darshayedhyasya tam bhavam sapashyadi. Whatever bhava is shown to him by anybody, he sees only that bhava. He sees only that truth. Either whatever bhava is shown to him by an acharya or somebody, that he accepts as satya. And he attains tadatmyam with that that truth and attains. So here he gives a beautiful thing. That though you don't know, you have faith in the teacher. Yesterday's talk continuation. You have faith in your teacher. And whatever he said, I have no botheration to think whether it is right or wrong. My teacher has finished his thinking and she has given me the bottom line. What is the bottom line? This is the truth. And he has no doubt about it. And he worships that Paramatma Tattvam as this. Like if you say, this is the truth, the teacher says about a idol in the temple. For that bhakta, that is the truth. He never questions. He has got the Shraddha. And when you have Shraddha, what will happen? You will know the truth. So, you have confused us so much. Doesn't matter. Here he gives the soothing consolation. What is he saying? It doesn't matter. Whatever you accept as the truth by the aptavakya, by the words of a advanced student, that you accept and by your Shraddha. In the Gita also Bhagavan says, because they have Shraddha, their Shraddha I increase. In the 7th chapter or so. And they also come to know me. So don't think only those who did the operation, the intellectual operation about truth will know the truth. No such thing. Many great bhaktas have also attained the truth. Is it not? As I told you yesterday, Nisargadatta Maharaj, he attained the truth because he had faith in his teacher. Sachidananda Swami, he said, you are that. And he went and concentrated on that for 3 years, meditated on that. And he realized a man with no knowledge of any type. How did he get that? By his Shraddha. Your teacher might have told you 1,000 times, but you still have but. What but? You have got doubts. He has no doubts. My teacher, if he has said, it must be the truth. That type of strong faith, if you have, no matter what you are accepting as truth, it becomes truth for you. There are many stories in the spiritual literature where there's avara, very ordinary labor class or something who knows nothing about God or anything, who does not even know how to chant a name of the Lord. To such people, instruction was given by the teacher. And the teacher said, you meditate on that. One ordinary laborer asked, go third. He said, I want to know God. Wanting to know God is God's grace for you. Wanting to know God. So the teacher looked at him up and down. This fellow, what can I teach him? He's absolutely ignorant. So he said, okay, son, can you chant some mantra? I won't chant mantra and all. In my mouth, it will sound like something else. I don't know the pronunciation, the art of phonetics, all that I don't know. So the teacher was in a puzzle, but he wanted to help. The eagerness of the student made the teacher come down to his level and said, do you love anything in this world? At least that you must be doing. Yes, I love my little lamb which is born now. He's a goatherd. And the baby is born and he's carrying it around everywhere, small lamb. And anything small is very, very sweet. And I love that, he said. Then the teacher said, that is an altar. Where there is love, there you have an altar. Understand? So he said, consider that to be Lord. Treat that lamb as the Lord. Saying this, he went away. And this, because he doesn't know, sometimes intellect is a problem. It questions everything. What the teacher is simply making fun of me or what? We will think. But not a very simple person. He has total faith. So he said, yes, teacher has given me Upadesh. And he went home and started looking after the lamb with all love. Bhakti they developed towards the lamb. This is God. This is God. Every day Abhishekam for that baby lamb. And then put a big kuri and put one mala for that lamb and feed it well, Naivedyam. Thus it he worshipped. And later on, after 1 year, the teacher came that way. He came accidentally. And he thought, what happened to that fellow? Let me see. And he went there. And as soon as he see the teacher, he prostrated. Sashtanga Namaskar. And said, you are my teacher. And the teacher was stunned. That which he has not seen yet, this fellow is saying he has seen God. You have seen God? What do you mean? He said, you told me to worship my lamb and I did. And I did with all Shraddha. And what happened? Every time I have a problem in my life, which are many for a poor goatherd, every time I have a problem, a little blue figure comes out of my lamp and he has 4 hands. And the very sight of him fills me with peace and joy. I experience joy. What is that? Ishvara Sakshatkara. And how did he get it? By Shraddha. This story is oft repeated by the Mahatmas. So when you get a student who is avarastun, who don't know anything, you play upon his Shraddha. And he will also come to me. Krishna promises that in the Gita. Don't think this is only for intellectuals. Intellectuals won't enter there. For the intellectuals it is more difficult. Just as Jesus said, for the rich man it is very difficult to go to heaven. It is like going through the eye of a needle. Understand? It's very difficult. So also for the intellectual, because they question everything. They question the teacher also. First they analyze whether the teacher is really realized or not. Why should you bother? That is teacher's problem. You find out whether you are realized. And that man had seen God. The teacher also has not seen God. Teacher simply gave him one technique. And he went by that technique and he realized. So don't laugh at all these foolish people who are telling so many. One of them may satisfy you, you accept that. Or if you are a true student of Vedanta, you analyze the logical analysis of it and come to the conclusion only Atman is the truth. All other things are only superimpositions on the Atman by brains which are not manda madhyama buddhis. Okay? But everybody has a chance. Everybody has a chance to know the truth. Even the lower than the lowest has the ability to know the truth because the great Lord directs him in his own way. So you are a bhakta, he directs you. He increases your bhakti, and slowly in that bhakti you come to know the true nature of the Lord. The Lord himself reveals his identity to such a bhakta. Hence, don't think only in we are Vedantic students, so we have first preference in the queue for realization. No such thing. Who has first preference? One who has Shraddha. So you are standing in a queue in front of the Lord for realization, let us say. Then you are seeing your some worker in your factory standing in front of you. How can he know the truth even before me? Such is the arrogance of the intellect. Here, in this field, intellect does not hold water. And I don't know Sanskrit, so what? You know some language, That's enough for the Lord. What a consoling philosophy. Not that you are not fit, you are not studied anything, get out. No. In the hall of Vedanta, everybody is welcome. There is some sadhana for each and everyone. That is the message here. So he says here, that type of faith will carry you much more than this type of intellectual knowledge. Your faith will take you to the higher. Ramanujam, the great mathematician, he was taken by Professor Hardy, or what is his name? Hardy or something. He took him to England, seeing the brain of this little boy. Very poor house he has come from, and he was already suffering from TB. He died at very young age because he had tuberculosis. So, Hardy will put one question, mathematical operation, and before he finished writing the question, answer will be written by Ramanuja. He said, how did you do it? What is the method? Because in mathematics that is important. How did you arrive at that correct? I don't know. That Devi in Namakkal. He is from Namakkal in Tamil Nadu. And in Namakkal there is a temple. Devi temple. Namakkal. She tells me the answer. Such is his faith in the Devi. It happens. I don't know how it is done and all, but I know the answer. That is very illogical, maybe, but you cannot deny the fact that Ramanujam is one of the greatest mathematicians ever lived in this world.
Since they are experimenting on what he has told.
Great man he was. He says, I have an intuitive knowledge of mathematics. That is what he means by saying, Devi is telling me. Even before the problem is put on the board, he has solved it. How do you, these are, you say Apurvada is not there in the waking world? That is Apurvada. So many Apurvadas you can see. So, okay, we'll stop. Always I am late. So, here, Sri Rama Krishna Vachanam is given, have faith in the words of the teacher. You must depend on the teacher's words, is what he says. And then, holding on to his words in that pillar, you hold strongly and go do the, what do you call, go round and round in this this world. Parikrama. You hold on to the words of the teacher and do whatever you have to do in this world. That is his way. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, though not educated in any way, look at the beautiful words he writes on all these. How did he get the knowledge? How did Ramana Maharshi got the knowledge? Not a single Upanishad he studied. Not a single. But he knew the essence of all the Upanishads. The great scholars will come and sit in front of him. We are reading. Please tell us the meaning of this. Oh Guru, he has not heard it before at all. But there is something in him which understands everything. That is the expansion in consciousness. Not the intellect has expanded. What has expanded? Consciousness has expanded. And he knows all the answers. He says, thus, never think your teacher is only a mere personality. Not at all, he says. He is of the nature of Sachidananda Swarupa. When he is teaching you, he is Sachidananda Brahma only. Have that faith. Then you are taking instruction from Sachidananda. I did not write this, then you can say, aha, nice cunning. She wants some type of trying to gain appreciation. Not at all. I am also a seeker like you. You understand that? So, and by the kripa of the Guru, there is nothing impossible for the student. A student who has with this type of faith in the Guru and the teacher and the Guru and the God, the Lord himself gives his darshan to that type of a shishya. So, if you are not yet known the truth, it is not because you have not understood it intellectually. You understood it. But you have not the sufficient Shraddha. Is it clear? How to make? Is there any shop where Shraddha is sold? No. There is no shop. You have to invoke it from yourself. Then it will come. We'll stop there. On third. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnas Purnamataya Purnameva Om